century in Europe, serfdom became the dominant social structure. Life was hard and people without wealth couldn't afford protection, so they gave up their freedom and accepted bondage to feed their families. The rich took advantage of this system to create a stable source of labor using workers who were essentially slaves. They owned no land or buildings and gave the majority of their crops and production to the ruling lord. Serfdom was hereditary. You inherited that status from your parents for life. Freedom could only be bought outright through something called manumission, a rare and expensive legal act for the vast majority. The only escape was running to a town and risking your life.
Keep it steady, old friend.
Mind the path, children. I see one.
Push harder.
Today, the rich again are trying to return us to a feudal state. They are trying to make all of us renters, citizens who own nothing and work for the ruling class. If you rent your home or apartment, you are a renter. If you drive a car, unless it's paid for, you are essentially a renter. Even if you buy a car today with all the subscriptions you need to keep it running, you are still a renter. The subscription class are the new renters of the 21st century.
Caramba.
One step more. One step more. One step more.
Serfs owned nothing, which is what the last 2 generations in the modern Western world are starting to look like: renters for life. Who can even afford to buy a home today who isn't a modern lord? That is, someone who grew up in wealth. Another sign of this control by the rich is minimum wage, which hasn't increased substantially since the 1990s, frozen for decades. Meanwhile, inflation has gone up 148%. Some experts say for minimum wage to have kept up to inflation, it would have to be over $50 per hour today. Clearly, it is not.
Hear ye, hear ye.
And the next part you might recognize right away. The other service that the serfs provided to the lords was military tribute. Kings would start wars on a whim, and who would have to sacrifice their lives in battle? The serfs, of course, so when you hear about an upcoming draft, and it will happen, remember the kings and the lords sitting in their castles and mansions while you fight their wars. Does nothing ever change?
No! It doesn't change. Until we all join together to make it change. To stop billionaires from controlling the political parties and the government. You can't sit this one out. If you do, they will win. They have before. They did in the 1930s in Nazi Germany, and they will again. Even the American President Dwight Eisenhower more than 60 years ago warned voters about the military-industrial congressional complex that was controlled by big business. Why are there always wars? Because war means profit billions. That's why there are always wars. The rich make fortunes. The serfs die on the battlefields.
Okay, maybe that was a bit overdramatic, but hell, it's true. Wars have been making billions of dollars for companies for 100 years, and who goes to fight these wars? Not the CEOs or the billionaires, or even the billionaires' sons. It's always the people at the bottom. And the government says there won't be a draft, but then why create new legislation this year to automatically register every U.S. male when they reach 18 years of age? I wonder.